Hello and welcome to another episode of Geared Toward Gear. My name is Sean and I am so glad you're here. Today we're going to take a look at an excellent new offering from Civivi. It's called the Governor and I'm pretty stoked on it. So if you like big knives and you cannot lie, stick around. We're going to do kind of an overview of this knife. It's not going to be a full in-depth review because I haven't had it terribly long, but it's so similar to a number of other Civivi knives that I do own that I feel pretty comfortable giving you my thoughts on this knife. So again, it's called the Governor. It's from Civivi, and if you're not familiar, Civivi is the budget subsidiary of WE Knives out of China. Most people, or at least a lot of people, would probably argue that WE Knives is in the top like two as far as best manufacturers in China currently. And the Governor, this new model, goes for $55. They're already available on Amazon. Comes in three colors: gray G10, blue G10, and black G10. They all look excellent. So yeah, check your favorite knife dealer website or Amazon.com, at least here in the US. You can pick up a Governor. It's going to ship in a standard Civivi white cardboard box. Inside the box, a standard Civivi pouch. Inside you'll find some stickers, a microfiber cloth. They really kind of hook you up with the kind of the bonuses Civivi does. And so in my opinion, and I've probably said this before on videos or maybe on Instagram or Facebook, but I think Civivi as a brand, when you look at like the 40 to say $65, $70 kind of budget range of imported knives, I think Civivi is just crushing it. I think they are at the top of that food chain, and every other company, although there are a number of other companies doing great things, whether it's Kubi or Artisan or whoever, I think in that price range, everybody's playing second fiddle to Civivi. That's my personal opinion, and I feel pretty strongly about it just based on my experiences, and the Civivi Governor is no exception to that. Quick fun fact, Civivi is actually the name of a small town in China, and they actually have an elected governor, and he's known for carrying a knife. And so that's what inspired the name of this knife. And I made that up. That's not true at all. I just made that up just now. So it's just the name. They just called it the Governor. There is no significance. Civivi's not the name of a town in China, as far as I know. So yeah, that was just a lie. But this is called the Governor, and it's a big knife. And it's a thumb stud deploying knife, which is a bit of a departure for Civivi. And I'm pretty happy about that. So let's kind of give you the short version as far as what you're looking at here, so that if you're in a hurry, you can just take that and kind of move on. If you want to stick around a little longer, we'll get into a little more detail. So the overall length here is right about like 8.625 inches, somewhere in there. It's over 8.5 inches in length. Your blade length is 1, 2, 3 3/4 of an inch, and that is your actual cutting edge. So you're getting a full 3 3/4 inch of sharpened edge, which is amazing. Your handle length, if we scoot this guy over just a touch, like your handle scales are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 3/4, and your grip area, as far as where you can actually put your hand and grip the knife, is going to be closer to 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. So it's definitely a full-size knife. And let's do a quick size comparison with a, I think, pretty well-known budget knife, one that we use here on the channel pretty often, and that would be the Ontario Rat Model 1. And we're going to find that the Civivi Governor is just a hair longer than the Rat 1 in overall length. It's also going to have a significantly longer cutting edge than the Rat 1, as well as more of a grip area. So for people with big hands, this is going to be much more comfortable and conducive to a very large hand than something like the Rat 1 that has that kind of small forward finger choil. So just keep that in mind. It does have D2 blade steel. If I didn't mention, the price is $55. I did talk about the colors that it comes in. I think if not, it comes in blue and it comes in black. I really do like this Civivi gray G10. It looks excellent, but if you prefer blue or black, those are options as well. So I love that this is a thumb stud deploying knife. It's the only Civivi that I can think of that deploys with thumb studs, or at least doesn't have a flipper. I'm sure there are others, or maybe not. This could be their first one, but it's a nice, it's a welcome change of pace for me. Not everything has to be a flipper. Flippers are very popular. I love flippers, but it's nice every now and then to get something that just deploys with a simple dual thumb stud. There's just something satisfying about deploying a knife with a thumb stud. So I do like that. So yeah, it's a big knife with G10 handles, D2 steel, a really, really excellent hollow grind for $55. And the fit and finish, the quality control, the attention to detail is just what you would come to expect from Civivi. A couple things to just quickly point out. The hardware here is all going to be size T8, which is like a dream come true for me. I mentioned this recently on a video that I did on a knife from Hogue. T8 all the way around, so no little tiny T6 screws to speak of. You've got a black thumb stud, and they carried that black theme over to the hardware, of course, and to the pocket clip. It has an excellent deep carry loop over pocket clip. I really like these that Civivi does. It's going to be essentially the same clip as you see on the backlash, identical. You've got stainless steel liners, and they are heavily skeletonized. It almost looks like lattice work. If I can get just the right angle, maybe we can try it from, well, let's see, let's try. Okay, you can probably see it there a bit. It looks like lattice work. They have taken out a significant amount of material, and they've gotten the weight on this down to just over 4 ounces, like 4.1. And again, we're talking almost 9 inches overall with a full 3 3/4 inch of actual cutting edge and a big, nice handle for people with big hands. And it's still just a hair over 4 ounces, so really excellent there. It's a liner lock, as you may have seen, as most Civivis are, and it locks up just beautifully. It runs on bronze washers, which you can probably see right there. It's nice and smooth, but it's not that kind of drop shutty smooth. If I messed with the pivot, and loosened it, it may drop shut a little more, but then you're going to be potentially introducing blade play. And I don't, as fun as it is to fidget with a knife, flip it, and let it drop shut, it is fun, don't get me wrong, but I don't need every knife that I own to do that. And so the fact that this is just a thumb stud deployment liner lock that you close just like a run-of-the-mill liner lock, I kind of appreciate that simplicity. So really good lockup, really easy to disengage, some nice texturing on the liner there, easy to get your thumb in there. Centering on my example is dead perfect, and I've never received a Civivi that was not dead center out of box. It's got a nice G10 backspacer, which is, just perfectly flush with the liners and with the handle scales. You do have a little bit of a lanyard pass through there for you lanyard people. And you can actually kind of spider flick this thing with the thumb stud. So if you want to get a little fancy and not just use it kind of old school, you can spidey flick it if you would like to. My favorite thing I think about the Governor is the blade shape. This really nice elongated drop point with a swedge that runs the entire length. It looks excellent. You have so much usable cutting edge and just the most amazing hollow grind. Civivi does such a good job with the way they grind their blades, and they perform so well because they're really thin at and behind the edge, so they slice and prep food just like a dream. They really this is the best way I can put it. I always feel like I have gotten every penny of my money's worth when I purchase and use a Civivi knife. It doesn't matter which one it is. I always feel like I've gotten my money's worth or I've gotten a bargain. They just do a great job. And I think the Governor is no exception to that. So there's your kind of quick overview on the new Civivi Governor. Again, you can get this in blue or in black for about $55 US wherever you prefer to purchase your knives. One other little thing that I often say about Civivis that I really appreciate is that the blades are pretty sterile. There is no markings that say Civivi or that say Governor. It's just plain. There's nothing there. The only billboarding is the little Civivi logo right there on the pivot. And if you look really, really close, sometimes, and it's not on every knife, let me see if I can find it on this one. You can find the blade steel marked somewhere, and I'm not seeing it on this knife. Let me pull it closer. Do we have the blade steel marked anywhere? Oh, there it is. Okay. So if you look, this is crazy. If you look really, really close, I'm going to point to it with another knife blade. Right there. It says D2. It's so tiny and just barely etched in there. You see that? Okay, that's a good shot. D2. That's the only thing that's on the blade, and I love that. So if you got big hands, or you just like larger knives that have a little bit of reach, that slice really well, the Governor might be a great option for you, and it's quite comfortable. I think for most size hands, you'll probably be able to find a grip that works for you. For me, it's just kind of natural grip. The thumb ramp and the jimping works beautifully. It's a well thought out design. Civivi always executes their designs really, really well. So it's a winner as far as I'm concerned. So there it is, the Civivi Governor. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate it so much, and I will talk to you soon.